Welcome to this 6th episode of Dropping Pebbles in the Pond, which must mean I'm halfway through this first season. Gosh, where has the time gone? We're live on a variety of different platforms, so wherever you're watching, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and whether you're watching live or watching the recording, welcome to this show. I invite you to settle in, grab a brew or your favourite tipple and a notebook, because I've got a few questions for you to reflect on throughout today's show, so you'll probably want to make some notes. I'm always interested to know where you're joining me from, so do pop in the chat which part of the world you're currently in. It's good to see the kind of global reach that we're getting. As ever, I'm being supported or held together, as I often think of it, behind the scenes by my brilliant team. And they'll share comments and questions as they become relevant, because I don't always remember to look. So if it seems like I'm ignoring a question or a comment, it's because I haven't necessarily caught a glimpse of it. And of course, I invite you to join the after show Zoom call so that you can pick my brains or share your thoughts. You'll need to register for that, and my team will put the link in the comments right now or very soon and at various points throughout the show. So, dealing with the dream crushers. I wonder what came to mind when you heard or saw that title. The name of this episode was very nearly somewhat different, as I've been rather obsessed with Olivia Rodrigo's song Vampire, and I've been obsessed since it came out. There are several lines in that song that really resonate with me, and having spoken with a few introverts recently who were on the verge of giving up on their dreams, I knew it was time to talk openly about this. I probably need to be clear from the start that the dream crushers I speak of can be people in your circle of acquaintances, including family, peers, managers, and keyboard warriors who don't know you from Adam, but they think they have a point of view and can voice an opinion. And as an introvert, and you probably know this already, you're more than capable of crushing your own dreams. How do I know? Because I've been there, done that, and got the t-shirt. Want to know the slogan on the front of my t-shirt? On the front, it says Dream Crusher. And on the back, it says guaranteed to burst your bubble, hold you back, and keep you playing small. So that's my t-shirt. I wonder what would be on yours. I talked about the importance of dreaming our futures into existence a while ago now, actually, in episode 161 of my podcast, The Flourishing Introvert Talks. And I consider this show to be the perfect companion episode. So if you kind of watch this back and listen to that episode fairly close together, you'll see what I'm talking about. And before we dig a little deeper, I wonder what dreams you once held that got quashed. Feel free to share in the comments, because maybe it's time to breathe some life back into those dreams. And if you share them, I'm sure my team will let me see them. When I was a teenager, and actually only just a teenager, I wanted to be an air hostess. It seemed very glamorous to me, but I'm too short. I think they take shorter hostesses now, but at the time they certainly didn't. And of course, they have a different name now. They're called cabin crew as opposed to air hostesses. But it was a long time ago that I was a teenager. Then, whilst still a teenager, I wanted to be an engineer in the Merchant Navy. My parents disapproved, so I got married to an unsuitable beau instead. I always was the headstrong rebel. Next, I became a machine ager, as I call it, a corporate slave, pretending to be more extroverted and with huge responsibilities. My dreams during this period were firstly to be more authentic, and secondly to have a house in France. I eventually made the first one a reality in terms of being more authentic, but I didn't make any progress on the second one. That dream got crushed. Now I'm a queen-ager. My sights are set on being a global disruptor, of the positive kind, of course, because I imagine a future where introverts and extroverts work alongside each other and value their differences. But bias doesn't disappear without someone being prepared to shine a light into the murky corners. And that's what I intend to disrupt. So sometimes we grow out of dreams as we mature, and sometimes they are cruelly stolen from us by dream crushers. And these people, either knowingly or unknowingly, burst our bubbles by casting doubt on our aspirations, by undermining our confidence, and by dampening our spirits. Do you have people like that in your life? Pop a Y or a yes in the chat if you do have people like that, or maybe did, and you, like I, have distanced yourself. Because I did have people like that, and I did eventually distance myself from them, especially the close family members and those who seem to take pleasure in their crushing activities. Yeah, I can see August saying walked away from many, and a yes coming in from Helen. So I know I'm not on my own with this. I think the ones that upset me the most were the ones who took pleasure in their crushing activities, and those ones somehow did me the worst damage. Now, you may have noticed, but I have a pretty expressive face, and so they got immediate feedback when they were hitting the mark, when they were managing to crush my dreams. I couldn't keep a poker face. I eventually learned that not everything needs to be forgiven, providing, and this is a big providing, I'm not holding it as a wound that never heals. And I'm not. Those dream crushers that I've distanced myself from is not an unhealed wound, because healing can happen without forgiveness. And that's a topic for another day, I guess, or to continue talking about in our Zoom room. Now, whether it's through outright criticism, dismissive remarks, or subtle skepticism, dream crushers can put significant obstacles on the journey towards achieving our heart's desires. And yes, I'm using heart here because we need to engage heart and head in our intention setting. And from what I'm learning in the neuroscience of change program that I'm studying at the moment, it's actually more than heart and head too. However, it's essential to recognize that we all of us actually have the power to rise above the negativity of those people, reclaim our confidence, and pursue our dreams with unwavering determination. Yeah, Brad's saying heart, head, and body language and intuition for me. Absolutely. And it goes even wider than that. And I can't wait to share more with you about that at some stage. So are you ready to go a little deeper into the nature of dream crushers, the impact of their words and actions, and importantly, strategies we can deploy to overcome their influence so that we can continue to flourish? You ready for that? Okay, follow me. As already mentioned, dream crushers come in various forms, ranging from well-meaning friends and family members to outright cynics and detractors. Their motivations may differ, and some are genuinely trying to keep us safe from disappointment and upset, whilst others are somewhat jealous, even of our aspirations, of us daring to dream of a different life. But whatever the motivation, the result is often the same. Successful dream crushers sow seeds of doubt and discouragement, causing us to question our abilities and the validity of our dreams. I'm going to share some of the most common types of dream crushers. And as I'm doing so, see which ones you recognize in your life, because they're the ones we'll definitely need you to distance yourself from. So we'll start with the skeptic. This individual constantly acts from their hardwired negativity bias that actually all humans are blessed with. They inspect and dissect our dreams with a pessimistic outlook, highlighting potential pitfalls and failures without offering constructive solutions, and all positioned as doing us a favour, some favour. Their skepticism can chip away at our confidence and make us doubt our abilities. Life with a pessimist, if you've ever spent time with one, can be so hard. And you'll need to develop strategies to protect yourself from their negative energy. And I've talked before about some of those strategies, one of which includes a protective bubble. The second dream crusher type is the realist. While realism can be valuable, the realist dream crusher presents their logic as a universal truth and therefore the only logic. Sadly, though, this is often a facade for pessimism, but heaven help you if you call them a pessimist. This type of dream crusher may dismiss our dreams as impractical or unrealistic, as they fail to recognize the power of your vision and determination in achieving seemingly improbable goals. You know, one of my mantras is purpose plus passion trumps fear. I use this whenever dealing with those supposed, realists. The next type of dream crusher? The next type of dream crusher is the envious. Jealousy and envy can drive some individuals to undermine our success and happiness. Whilst we often use those two terms interchangeably, envy is wanting deeply what someone else has, like attributes or possessions. Jealousy, on the other hand, is when we feel threatened, protective, or fearful of losing our position or possessions to somebody else. Brené Brown does a wonderful job of describing jealousy as typically involving three people: you, someone you're in a relationship with or want to be, and a perceived rival. So that's typically what jealousy is about. Envy, on the other hand, usually involves only two people, you and someone else. Envy occurs when you want what someone else has, whether it's their success, their possessions, their relationships, their qualities, or in this case, as a dream crusher, what they want is their purpose, passion, and the intentionality behind their mission and dream, something that they don't seem to have. So they're envious of you having it. And you feel a sense of lack of you feel inferiority because of it. The envious dream crusher may belittle our achievements or downplay our aspirations to alleviate their own insecurities. They're a nasty bit of work, actually. The next type of dream crusher is the well-meaning protector. These are usually family or friends who we may have lent on in difficult times. Essentially, they want us to be safe and stay the same. That's what they're familiar with. So they express concern for our well-being by discouraging us from pursuing ambitious goals. You don't need to do that. You've got a great life just now. You don't need to put yourself out there as the online space is full of trolls. Just stay safe here. Play small is what they're saying. Chris is saying, yeah, the well-meaning protectors. While their intentions may be rooted in love and care, their protective instincts can inadvertently stifle our growth and potential. We have to be able to make our own mistakes and then learn from them. There's one other dream crusher that I've already alluded to, you. And in my case, me. I know that may sound a bit harsh, but when we give our inner critic or our inner saboteur too much credence, it can be as convincing as having a real person muttering in our ears all day long. So, as you'll have heard about in recent episodes and shows I've talked about, I need to keep Gladys and Ronnie, my inner critic and my inner saboteur, in check and discern when they have a valid point and when they're just being scaredy cats. And I'm sure that we're all only too aware of the impact of active dream crushers. That's diminished confidence, heightened fear of failure, increased self-doubt, paralyzing procrastination or inertia. So if, like me, you're not keen to be in the grip of those things, let's face it, who wants to be in the grip of those? Let me share with you what it is that we can do. And firstly, loud and clear, don't do what I did for many years. Okay, so I'm going to share my mistake so that we can talk about what we can do. What I did wrong was that I stopped sharing my dreams. So they ended up being diminished. And I felt like they were almost a dirty little secret that no one should see. I was almost ashamed to own them as my dreams. And then I wondered why I wasn't achieving what I set out to. But thoughts become things, remember, as Mike Dooley taught me. So if anyone tells you not to share your dreams, do not take that advice. But we do need to be discerning about who we share our dreams with. You'll know that I'm a big fan of intentionally building a reciprocal support network. And that's where I now share the details of my dreams. A bit more on that in a moment. So we also need strategies to disarm or weaken the power of the dream crushers. And I'm going to share a few of my favorites with you. The first one, and these aren't in any particular order, and as I'm going through them, I encourage you to think about what it is that you might use. The first of them is to build unassailable belief in your dream and your ability to manifest it. And of course, manifesting is not just saying it and then sitting back and waiting for it to come. It's about doing the work to ensure that your dream becomes a reality. That's how you manifest it. So work with people who help you to clarify your ideas and create a workable plan. That's where we always start on the Frustrated to Flourishing program, and the waitlist is open. And remember, you can book your free synergy call with me right now to get you moving in the right direction. Your journey is your journey, so I'm not a cookie cutter kind of coach. We build a journey to suit you. The second method, that's one of my favorites, or strategies, is to be discerning. And it's to be discerning about who you spend time with. If I were a gambler, I'd put money on the fact that you can identify your dream crushers by name. Some of them you won't be able to avoid altogether, so limit the type and duration of contact that you have with them. As Kenny Rogers advised, you've got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. And you're welcome to that, earworm. Number 3 on my list of strategies is to review and reinforce your boundaries. You'll hear me talk about boundaries all of the time because I'm a huge fan of boundaries and what they provide us with, because they define what's acceptable and what's not. I usually describe my boundaries a bit like a picket fence. We can all see where the boundary is, but we can still chat across it. So it's not an impenetrable steel wall. I'm going to suggest one more boundary type to disempower the dream crushers, though, and it's the protective bubble that I mentioned a little earlier on. This is a technique I learned while training to be a clinical hypnotherapist. I literally step into my bubble and pull it up around me when I need it, like a huge soapy bubble, but a much more robust one. I can see out and others can see in, but because it's more robust, it's far less likely to burst. But what's so fun is that whatever weapon is aimed at me from those dream crushers, whatever's coming my way that has the intention of bursting whatever dreams I have, it bounces off my protective bubble in quite comedic fashion. I often end up laughing out loud, which strengthens my resolve and slightly freaks out the dream crushers. I strongly suggest you find a protective bubble that works for you. 4th on my list of strategies is to focus on your purpose and vision. No one else needs to get them like you do. Your job is not about convincing people. It's about keeping hope and intentions alive. Think of your dreams like plants or seedlings. So feed them whatever they need to stay vibrant and healthy. And in the case of your dreams, of course, motivational to you. Remind yourself of your why and how life will be different once you're living your dream. There's a very powerful exercise that I learned when I trained as an infinite possibilities trainer with Mike Dooley. It includes us speaking of the future as though it's the present. One day I'll share the powerful impact that technique has had on so many of my clients. Last in my list of strategies is to develop resilience. And this is about understanding that you're probably not going to silence all of your critics and skeptics. You're not going to out-logic the realists. You're not going to soothe the protectors. So when those things come your way, let them bounce off your protective bubble and establish what you can learn from the messages. Which obstacles can you deconstruct, hurdle over, or simply skirt around? There's very little that's totally insurmountable if your why is strong enough. And if you feel yourself wobbling, and we all do from time to time, be with people who build your belief and strengthen your resolve. As Bon Jovi says, it's my life, it's now or never. And to misquote him, none of us is going to live forever. So please don't forego your dreams, whatever they may be. and do celebrate your progress along the way. A step forward is a step closer after all. I'll be saying more about resilience in the Zoom call after the show. So remember to join us on the link. Now, those 5 are my tried and tested strategies: unassailable belief, discernment, boundaries, purpose and vision, and lastly, resilience. And you choose what works for you as a starting point, because there's no right or wrong. Well, maybe that's not strictly true, as doing nothing and staying stuck where you are with your crushed dreams lying in bits around you is wrong in my book. So a quick message for those watching on LinkedIn. It could well be that the comments are not coming, but we'll go through them after the show. So we're aware of your comments, or will be, but we can't pick them up now. So we're at that point in the show. Are you ready for today's pebble? This is going to seem really obvious, but sometimes the obvious needs saying, right? So here it goes. Hold your dreams high and treat them as sacred. Your dreams are your dreams, and you're the only one living your life. If you have life partners who you're choosing to travel this lifetime with, share your dream if it feels safe to do so. And be curious about their dreams and work out how you can support each other to both achieve your dreams. They're not mutually exclusive. And if you lack the support you need, you know where I am. Now, how do I bring this episode to a close? Dream crushers may cast shadows of doubt and negativity on our aspirations. But with belief, a strong why, and resilience, we can rise above their influence and pursue our dreams with confidence, intentionality, and joy in our hearts. I recommend that we protect ourselves with a broad array of relevant boundaries and support ourselves with those who allow our dreams to blossom in glorious technicolor. It's these strategies that enable us to navigate the challenges of negativity and emerge stronger and more determined to realize our dreams. So never let the dream crushers dim the light of your aspirations. Make sure that you pop into the YouTube channel to see everyone else's comments if you haven't managed to see any so far. Now, I want to leave you with a final question. Well, 3 questions actually. Is that cheating? Firstly, are you ready to reconnect with a long-held but suppressed dream? Are you ready to distance yourself from those you know to be dream crushers? And are you ready to out yourself as your own dream crusher? These require a degree of bravery that was probably also suppressed or hidden. So go find that bravery now, as it will serve you well. Shortly we'll be closing, so remember to find that Zoom link and come and join us in the after show exploration. And let's just see what comments and questions we've got that I've got a few minutes now just to pick up and deal with. Anything coming in that needs me to respond? Oh, High Tech Mother, thank you for joining us. It's very late for you. So, thank you. Loving my voice and energy. What a lovely compliment. Thank you very much. Bullying and narcissistic abuse. Yeah. Abuse by my mother and murder of my husband. That is a very tough one. Hi, Helen. Nice to see you here. Thank you. I hope you'll join us in the Zoom call afterwards. Thank you. Your face brings me strength, and your presence brings me strength. So thank you. Yeah. And as Chris said, the well-meaning protectors. Yeah. I don't like it when we're doing so well. Yeah. Harsh but true. Yes. Thank you. It seems like this show has resonated with quite a few people. Well, we've hit our 30 minutes. So thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me. Do check in on all of those comments. And High Tech Mother is saying, I am ready. So I hope, and Carl is here as well. Have a lovely to see you, Carly. I hope you're all ready. Remember to come and join us in that Zoom room for this evening or for today. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed having your company, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you.